Am I the meanest?
Punch drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Punch drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Punch drunk.
Well, who am I?
Punch drunk.
Who am I?
Punch drunk.
I can't hear you.
Punch drunk. AKA Mr. Moonshine himself.
Of Harlem.
What up? Y'all already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka el adobo, el sazón, el borracho, el pastor de boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, last show of the year. Probably the last show of Punch Drunk Boxing career. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a good holiday. Hope you had a great year. Hope you had good highlights of the year. Hope you accomplish every dream that you, every goal that you set January 1st, 2022, and you accomplish all those goals that you set. Got more money, bought a house, bought your favorite car, got your favorite lady, got more kids, got your first child, good job, ownership, health, lost weight. Cut the booze. Got sober. Let me know, folks. Let me know. Danny Medina in the building of Danny Medina. Your New Year's resolution should be that you want to become a member of Punch Drunk Boxing like my boy Danny Medina. Danny Medina, Mr. Moonshine in the building. Everybody in the chat. What's good? Kings of the Commonwealth. Another member of Punch Drunk Nation right here. Happy New Year, Punch. Hope you have a prosperous new year, and everyone else as well. Prosperous. That's the Mayweather. Purse. What's good, y'all, ladies and gentlemen? What's good, man? I know a lot of people. There's people that's all right with the 2022 year, how it was in the sport of boxing. I thought it was underwhelming, but it was good news. Good news made in 2022 leading to 2023. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of there's a few fights that we was just frustrated that it did not happen. Bud Crawford versus Earl of True Spins did not happen. I believe that the highlight of this year, let me see, what was the highlight of this year? The highlight of this past year was Gervonta Davis and him getting arrested and falsely accused by his crazy baby mama. Undisputed Jermall Charlo, undisputed Devin Haney. The women, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. What a beautiful fight. I believe that was the fight of the year. Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields, undisputed. Jessica McCaskill versus Chantel Cameron. Alicia Baumgartner versus Michaela Mayer. The girls took over. The girls, Natasha Chatterton and Chassa Jonas, the girls took over. Tyson Fury fought twice. Canelo Alvarez lost. Highlight, Cinco de Mayo, lost to Demetrius Bivol. Demetrius Bivol then beat Zurdo Ramirez as Zurdo, and Demetrius Bivol in a lot of people's lists got him as fighter of the year. But I believe the highlight and the frustration of the year was Terrence Bud Crawford leaving the negotiation table to sign with BLK and fight David Avanesian, in which he knocked out in the 5th round. Yeah, his glove was all effed up, but at the end of the day, nobody cared. If it was Earl Spence, I'm going to tell you like this, if it was Earl Spence that was fighting Bud Crawford and the glove was like that, then people are going to be talking, man. We're going to be hearing the same ish with the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I'm going to tell you like that. Virgil only fought one time, Boots only fought one time, but now it's time for us it's time for the boxing world 2023 to stop playing fantasy games. Stop playing the fantasy role. Stop. It's time that we talk about realistic fights. Realistic fights. No more fantasies, because that's the thing that keeps us frustrated in the sport of boxing. Fantasy. Oh, hey, yo, we want to see this fight. That ain't fight gonna happen. That fight ain't gonna happen. So that fight ain't gonna happen. If you tired of talking about it, then the matchup that we need to talk about and need to build and need to marinate and need to focus on is Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. Late 2023. And of course, people are gonna be like, yo, that fight is not gonna happen because it needs more, it needs some belts. No. Let's not forget that also this year, the belts has been watered down like never before. We had undisputed people, not even in the pound for pound list in ESPN. Yeah, people gonna be like, yo, but Punch, that's ESPN. But yeah, man, ESPN is a credible sports network. It is what it is. Leading the world in sports. And when they snub undisputed, Jermall Charlo is not pound for pound. Devin Haney just became pound for pound by beating George Kambosos twice. The second time, but the first time, which is supposed to be more important, they put him on the pound for pound. I think they pity Devin Haney to put him on the pound for pound list because he beat the same guy. He beat the same guy. He didn't do nothing more special than beating him the first time. So why the first time when he beat him, they didn't put him pound for pound? Because now he's with top rank and things of that nature. But you know, it was a pity to put him on the list. I really don't think they still respect Devin Haney. He said Jesse Virgil smokes boots. You must not know boxing and fighting. 147 class he has the most power. Once boots feel that early on any time. I believe it's a 50-50 fight thus far. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Jerome Boots. And I'm just gonna be talking about fights that I think is realistic for us to talk about, for us to be hyped about, and for us to build. We got to understand the sport of boxing. Stop being frustrated. Stop being low. You know, them bitter baby mamas. We got to stop acting like bitter baby mamas in family court as boxing fans. I don't give a damn about Bud Crawford versus Earl of True Spence. I really don't give a damn. And going into 2023, I really don't give a damn. I don't really want to talk about it, but I just know that a lot of y'all like to talk about it, but I really don't want to talk about it as a host, as a boxing channel. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz is what we're going to be dialing in 2023. Full throttle. Step on the gas. That's what we're going to be talking about. Because to be honest, if they had Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis and Bud Crawford versus Earl of True Spence, same time, same day, I'm going to watch Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. I'm going to support it. That's just me. Yeah, I understand y'all going to be like, nah, I'm going to watch Bud Earl. Go ahead. I'm going to watch Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. If it's the same time, same. Hey, I had Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fought the same day as Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Guess what? I was watching Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Kings of the Commonwealth said Virgil is more prepared to be champion because of the competition he's fought so far. Facts. I'm in the support of Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. That is my primary fight in the welterweight division. I don't give a damn if these guys, to be honest, I really don't care if Earl Spence says I retire. I don't care if Bud Crawford today says I retire. The highlight of this year was that we finally was going to get the fight that we've been asking for. The fight that was for them to enhance their legacy. Perfect time. Perfect time. Perfect time. You know that Bud Crawford is getting older, but perfect time. And that fight did not come to fruition. I would not be pumping this fight. Look, Earl Spence did an emoji. He said April. I don't give a damn about April. I don't give a damn. He put January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about his tweets anymore. He's not gonna get us anymore. He's not gonna ignite an emotion for nothing. We're not gonna do a content about a damn tweet. Another thing, a highlight of this year was boxing Twitter wars. Everything was on Twitter. All the hype was on Twitter. A lot of us has made 50% of our contact was about what one boxer tweet to one another or whatever, just tweeting. Out 50% of a boxing content this year, it was because of Twitter. Not even because of what happened in the ring. Look. Yesterday was about IG, her statement in IG. Gervonta Tank Davis, his deleted tweets. He's a deleted master. We spoke about more Gervonta Tank Davis tweets that we did about his fights. Terrence Bud Crawford, Earl of True Spence. The highlight was of them of Bud Crawford to Earl Spence was the tweets that Earl Spence and Bud Crawford was going back and forward when Bud Crawford was trying to say all about the negotiations. It was tweet wars. That's what we got. Ryan Garcia versus Javante Davis, tweet wars. Donnie Medina. 3 years following you, nobody doing better. Subscribe. That's what I'm talking about. Good looking now, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Para $2 para el metro car. Nada, los metro car es más que eso, ya. Good looking now, Danny Medina. Again, if you want to become a member of the Punch Wrong Boxing, man, come on, man, subscribe, and smash that link on the pin box and become a member to show the support, man. Support the grind. Undefeated Boogeyman, King Andrade versus Benavidez. Morrell Plant should beat Charlo if he moves up. Now, I believe the most important fight for any fighter, for any pair, will be Demetrius Andrade. Just made a video saying Benavidez versus Charlo next. The most important fights of Demetrius Andrade's career and Jermall Charlo's career is them fighting each other. Career savior. I think they need each other more than ever. Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo need each other more than ever. And I don't give a damn if you're a fan or not. You know it and I know. If they announce Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade, you all gonna be watching. You all gonna be paying for it. You all gonna be hated to love it. Demetrius Andrade, 2-division world champion, USA Olympian, regarded as the most not I'm gonna say the most feared, but the most avoided fighter of this era. Jermall Charlo's inactivity got a lot of people frustrated. But there's no pair that needs each other more than Demetrius Andrade versus Jermall Charlo. Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo need each other more than ever. Demetrius Andrade has shook another highlight of the year. Demetrius Andrade finally working with PBC Showtime. We never thought it was going to happen. And props to whoever built the bridge for Demetrius Andrade hashing it out with Al Hamon. I believe now that 2023 it just needs to happen. I don't see how these guys' career can actually move forward without fighting one another. If we're talking about the most marinated fight in the sport of boxing, I think it's Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo. It's not even Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence. That's not the most marinated fight. It's not Tyson Fury versus Usyk. It's not. It's Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade, the most marinated fight in the sport of boxeo. And nobody needs each other more than themselves, bro. They need it for their career and legacy, for their career to stay alive. Charlo needs to fight Triple G. Fight ain't gonna happen. You see, that's what I'm saying. We gotta move on. We gotta move on to 2023. We gotta move on to the realistic goals, the realistic fights that I believe needs to happen, and is in finger reach. We're gonna be talking about these fights. Javante Davis versus Ryan Garcia is right there for the taking. We could talk about those fights. I'm not gonna be frustrated talking about that fight because I believe that fight is gonna happen. I believe that fight is gonna happen. I believe that Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz could happen. I believe if they petition the Belt Federation, because they're 1-2 in all the Belt Federation. And I think that this is the perfect time. Virgil Ortiz is going to be fighting. Boots Ennis is going to be fighting. And they're going to be aligned to fight. Because if somebody drops the belt, I'm going to tell you like this. Like I said, the WBC and the WBO is working together. If both of these guys are mandated, if Virgil Ortiz becomes mandatory in 140, And Earl Spence and Boots Ennis already is a mandatory in the, I mean, becomes a mandatory in the WBC, even though that Keith won Tom Thurman. I even think that Keith Thurman is going to move to 154 if he can't fight for the belts. If Keith Thurman can't fight for no belts, he's going to move over to 154. These belts are going to be dropped somewhere. I believe so. What's good, Gilbert? What's good? I like to see Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. That's realistic. We could talk about that. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. We could talk about that. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, the rematch. We could talk about that. Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields, the rematch. We could talk about that. Michaela May, Alicia Baumgartner. We could talk about that. The rematch. We could talk about that. Pitbull Cruz versus Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. Could talk about that. Shakur Stevenson versus, let me see, Shakur Stevenson. Who could he fight? Shakur Stevenson versus Jamie Ortiz. See, I believe these are realistic fights. I'm not going no more with the Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. Realistic fight. Is Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez is more realistic than Teofimo Lopez versus Regis Prograis. And also Regis Prograis will have to put, if he wants to fight the best 140, in which they're all in top rank, then Regis Prograis will have to talk to his promoter and Probellum, because again, we're living boxing today. The belts are watered down. The belts is not going to make you do business with the other people. So in the end of the day, yeah, Regis Prograis got the belt, but who is he going to fight? He's going to wait for Adrian Broner, BLK Prime, another highlight of the year, BLK Prime, another new player in the sport of boxing. Now, I don't know the date. Stephen Fulton versus Inoue. I like the fight, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. You know why? Because even before the Brandon Figueroa fight, Stephen Fulton said that it's hard to make that weight. I believe that Stephen Fulton is going to move up to the 126-pound division. And Inoue, working with Top Rank, have the Japanese promoter and stuff like that, then did it with PBC. There's going to be a lot. I don't know. I don't know. It will be tough. That's going to be tough to make, man. It's going to be too tough to make, to be honest. It's going to be tough to make. So, realistically, I would love to see the fight. I think Inoue needs Stephen Fulton more than Stephen Fulton might need Inoue, because he's going to be moving up. There's PBC fighters at 120 and 126 pounds. It's going to be hard, in my opinion. I think that I love the fight, but realistically, I see a lot of roadblocks. I see a lot of roadblocks making that fight. Who else? Erickson Lubin versus, you know what fight I would like to see in 154 pounds? I think you can match. The 154 pounds could really give you some good matches. It's been giving us some good matchups. Brian Castaño versus Danny Garcia. Great fight. Brian Castaño versus Danny Garcia. Great fight. I even think that Earl Spence, if he move up to the 154 pound, I think Earl Spence versus Brian Castaño. Because if Earl Spence could beat Brian Castaño, that will be, even though that he lost to Jermall Charlo, that will be another great win for his resume, because he was a champion at 154. A lot of people feel like Brian Castaño did beat Lara. Brian Castaño beat Patrick Teixeira. Had a draw with Jermall Charlo. Yeah, got knocked out, but had a draw with Jermall Charlo. I think Earl Spence and Brian Castaño will be one of the most entertaining fights in the sport of boxing. Brian Castaño brings it. Brian Castaño have beaten Earl Spence twice in amateurs. He got the style that's going to bring it, and Earl Spence got that style that he brings it. To be honest, I think that will be one of the most entertaining fights in the sport of boxing. Castaño versus Earl Spence. Castaño versus Danny Garcia. But I think stylistically, you want to see action-packed. You already know that Earl Spence is one of the most high-volume punchers in the sport of boxing. If you want to see action-packed, Brian Castaño, Earl Spence, that's going to be a war. That will be a war. Erickson Lubin versus Brian Castaño. Brian Castaño, Fondora. Yo, I think that Brian Castaño, with his effective pressure, can make a lot of fights. Jermall Charlo, he's already the king. Jermall Charlo versus Earl Spence. Jermall Charlo versus Bud Crawford if he moves up. Good matchup. Keith Thurman versus Erickson Lubin. If he moves up to the 154, Keith Thurman, a Florida guy. Lubin, a Florida guy too. Let me see. But I want to talk about realistic fights. I can't even talk about Jermall Charlo versus Jaime Munguia because look what happened. The business got in the way. Who Jaime Munguia going to be fighting? Is Jaime Munguia going to stay in 160? If he's going to be fighting Janabek, I doubt it. See, Golden Boy Promotions in 160 with Jaime Munguia, they got to take the training wheels off. They literally got to take the training wheels off. Because now it's looking ridiculous. It looks like y'all babysitting this guy like crazy because he could have been the mandatory in the WBO to fight Demetrius Andrade. That didn't happen. Y'all pulled the plug on it with Jermall Charlo, even though I believe that, yeah, it was Golden Boy Promotions' fault that fight didn't happen. Bam Bam versus Chocolatito. I like that fight, Danny Medina. I like that fight. Rashidi Elliott versus Boots Ennis will be a great fight. That fight should have happened now. That fight should have happened right now. You know what I'm saying? That fight should have happened now. This fight, we can't even pronounce the name of the guy that Boots Ennis is fighting. That fight could have happened right now, and it wouldn't even cost that much. You could have put Gervonta Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia and have that co-main event with Boots Ennis and Rashidi Ellis. Beautiful. I think the prospect of the year 2023, mark my words, is going to be Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker, in my opinion, going to be prospect of the year. Prospect of the year by the end of 2023. Ben Whitaker, look out for Ben Whitaker, one of my favorite young fighters. I think Keyshawn Davis is going to make his way to contentions late 2023. Keyshawn Davis is going to be moving. They're going to be moving Keyshawn Davis quick. Kid Austin is going to have, I think, a break, not a breakout year, but Kid Austin, if he gets a top 10 opponent in which they can make that happen, Golden Boy Promotions can make that happen. I don't know who they're going to be fighting, but if he could get some good names, at least 2 names, that's going to be a good. It's going to be good for Keyshawn. For Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin. Hey, Drunk Bunch, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Emmanuel. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year for the people in the UK, other side of the pond. What's good, man? Happy New Year. Canelo versus Triple G was the worst fight of the year. Yes. Yeah. I think that's one of the. Well, I just felt like Canelo Alvarez should have never fought Triple G again. But it is what it is. They got their money. Triple G got his money and stuff like that. Triple G still got the belts. I want to see Triple G versus Janabek. If Canelo Alvarez was getting flamed for not fighting Mexican fighters or saying he's not fighting Mexican fighters, but Triple G and Janabek gets a pass, and this is what I mean, how people create these narratives and hold on just because they want to build a narrative with Canelo Alvarez because it's lucrative and stuff like that. Everybody was against Canelo Alvarez, and I was actually, I don't agree with Canelo Alvarez not fighting Mexican fighter, just like I don't agree Janabek by saying that he don't want to fight Triple G, but then says that he want to become undisputed, he want to fight all the champions. All right, Triple G is the main guy in 160, so why don't you want to fight him? Or it's tradition? Fuck the tradition. This is a world sport. We don't give a damn. If you're not ready to be the number one guy, then get the hell out of the sport, or get out the division. Drop your belt. If Janabek is not ready to unify the titles with Triple G because of tradition and stuff like that, he's your elderly. I don't know. He's your poppy. Drop the belts and stop wasting the people's time. You're not trying to become the best. You holding on to not fighting another Kazakhstan fighter, but that Kazakhstan fighter is the number 1 middleweight, right? In 168-pound division, I already know Canelo Alvarez undisputed. David Benavidez versus Kingdom Plant, great fight. I want Jermall Charlo. Demetrius Andrade is the most marinated fight in the sport of boxing. And whether you a fan of them or not, because I know he got a lot of haters, both of these guys got a lot of haters, y'all know that this will be a good matchup. And y'all know, leading up to the fight, the promotion, wow, it's going to be incredible. James Kelly, Happy New Year, my friend. Con lo 10 pesos. But look at now. Happy New Year, Punch. Happy New Year, James Kelly, Patterson, Jersey in the building. Look at now. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Hope the wife is good. The health is good. Getting that degree. Let's go. Look at now. I think that yeah, man, I think we got to talk about realistic fights at 2023. Stop keeping our hopes up. Let's talk about realistic fights, not fantasy fights. You know what I'm saying? Not fantasy fights. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, fantasy fight. Fantasy fights. I don't want to talk about that. Fantasy fights. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney this year, fantasy fight. It's not going to happen. Ryan Garcia versus Pitbull Cruz, fantasy fight is not going to happen. Tank versus Ryan Garcia, I believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. Bud Crawford versus Earl the Truth Spence, fantasy fight. That fight ain't never going to happen. Pacquiao back, and they needed to use Mayweather's name and stuff like that. I don't give a damn. Manny Pacquiao, do your thing. Floyd, do your thing. That's why I didn't even want to do a video about that. I really don't want to do. Andre and Danny Jacobs, fantasy fight. That ain't going to happen. Could happen, but it's not going to happen. Fantasy fight. Towering Inferno versus Charlo. Ooh. Could happen. Could happen. Jermall Charlo versus Fundora. Could happen. But I do think of Fundora versus because I know they're gonna give another touch to Fundora. Because I see that his star has grown. Jared Hurd. Who they gonna give Fundora? Who you think they're gonna give Fundora? You think they'll put Tim Zhu versus Fundora? No, I don't think Tim Zhu. I don't think the Tim Zhu team will take that fight now because they're already in contention to get that undisputed bout. Ortiz versus Thurman ain't gonna happen. Fantasy fight. Fantasy fight. Fundora needs more fights. Yeah, I want to see the rematch between Bivol versus Canelo. I think that's a dude. But if I was Bivol, I don't need to fight Canelo Alvarez. I will milk it. Matter of fact, if I was Bivol, I will milk that because I know he's always gonna want to fight me. But I gotta go for undisputed. I want to go for I gotta go for the winner of Anthony Yarde versus Beterbiev. Get me the undisputed, and then when we go in the table with Canelo Alvarez, I'm gonna get almost just as much money. You ain't gonna give me no $3-5 million. I'm making my $12 million. If I was Demetrius Bivol, that's what I go with. I'm going with 20 million. You making 30, you making 40, 50 off me now. I'm getting my $20 million. If you want to fight me again, I'm going to build that fight. See, now Demetrius Bivol, he's in the driver's seat. I don't need Canelo Alvarez. He needs me. He needs to avenge me. I really don't need you. T.O. versus John Taylor. I believe that's going to be the fight. But of course, John Taylor going to be fighting Jack Catterall. I think T.O. is going to be having probably another fight in between. I don't think the Regis Pro Grace and T.O. may happen because of the Pro Bellum and stuff like that. I don't see the energy coming from Top Rank and Richard Schaefer to make the Teofimo Lopez fight. Teofimo Lopez wants that fight. That's his primary fight. But I just don't see that that team is going to do it. And I don't think that Teofimo Lopez is going to is not going to listen to the instructions of Bob Arum and just take it a purse bid like he did with George Kambosos. I don't think that Teofimo Lopez is going to do it. I think he's going to be a team player. I think he's going to listen to the instructions of Bobby Arum, his team, the matchmakers, and stuff like that. And I think that Teofimo Lopez probably will be fighting maybe next. Maybe this time, maybe he will be fighting the Pedraza of the world. Maybe he would. You know? Puello versus Gary Antoine Russell. I believe that's going to happen. I believe that Gary Antoine Russell will become a champion. I believe that Gary Antoine Russell will become a champion before Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. And once Gary Antoine Russell gets that 140-pound belt, I'm telling you like this. A lot of business handlers going to be ducking that smoke. A lot of business handlers going to be ducking that smoke. Because when he's get that title, it's going to be hard for him to let that go. But I think they're going to put Puello. They're always going to put the Dominican fighter to fight. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to put Puello versus Gary Antoine Russell, in my opinion. Let's see the kid, Jermaine Ortiz. I think Jermaine Ortiz is going to be fighting. I think Jermaine Ortiz gonna be fighting. Jermaine Ortiz gonna be fighting Shakur Stevenson. I think that's gonna be a good fight, tactical fight. Um, but I think it's gonna be a good fight. I also feel like who else? Jared Anderson. I believe it's time to give him that, give him not that tough. I think that he's just too good. I think it's time to give him that 10th round bout. The 10th round, another 10th round bout, give him a better opponent. I think it's time that he's a top 10 heavyweight. I think the Felix Hergovich of the world, I think the Zhang of the world, I think that'll be a good fight for him. Give him Zhang. Give him Zhang, because I feel like Zhang don't have the stamina, and I feel like that will be a big win for him. Jared Anderson versus Kawanaki, be a good fight in New York City. It'll be a good fight in New York. Kawanaki, maybe they can make that happen. Jared Anderson versus Chris Arreola, even though that Chris Arreola isn't in his last leg, but I could see that's a little name that people know in the heavyweight division and probably get him that fight. Hold on. Give me 1 second. What do you think about Frank Sanchez? I think that would be a good fight too. Frank Sanchez versus Jared Anderson. I think that will be the test for Jared Anderson. That will be the test in terms of intellect, in terms of stamina, in terms of adjusting. If you can't get a guy out, I think he needs one of those tests. If you could get past Frank Martin, then I could see Jared Anderson. He's going to do well versus the Andy Ruiz of the world. I can't see the Usyk fight. Jared Anderson versus Danny Dubois. I like that fight as well. I like that fight. I think they can make that fight. Danny Dubois versus Jared Anderson. I think they should make that fight. Realistic fight. I think Joyce versus Tyson Fury could happen even before Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. I think Joyce versus Tyson Fury is as realistic than Usyk and Tyson Fury. To be honest, I like that fight as well. Thurman versus Eubank Jr. Nah, not gonna. I'm only. We go only. Again, 2023 is coming. We got to talk about realistic fights. Let's not talk about the fantasy. Let's really dial into the business of boxing as well, so we won't be frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Even though I said a bunch of fights for Jared Anderson and he's with Top Rank and stuff like that, but we seen that Top Rank have done work with PBC now. So maybe now is Top Rank going to be doing work with Probellum. I think Regis, even with a title, going to be left out there in the cold. Think about it. When we're talking about what fights he's going to be fighting, he's probably going to be waiting for Adrian Broner and fight the BLK. Who should Anthony Joshua fight next? I think Anthony Joshua should fight the winner of Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. But in the meantime, I think that Anthony Joshua should fight. Anthony Joshua should fight maybe Zhang, Filip Hergovich. I think Filip Hergovich. I think Anthony Joshua should fight Filip. You know what I'm saying? I think he should fight. It's gonna be tough, but I think that me watching Filip Hergovich versus Zhang, I think that Anthony Joshua could do good that fight. I think he could do good that fight. But yeah, man, a lot of more drama and gossip shit happened this year than than previous years. I think this was the most gossipiest year. I think throughout the summer, leading to the winter, fall, winter. I think it's been very, very poor in terms of action. Shout out to all the boxing content creators, because I know a lot of people was just having a bunch of recycling content. You know what I'm saying? We did have Franco versus Ioka. It landed in a draw. There's a lot of people that feel like Franco won, but also I believe that Andrew Maloney got robbed with Joshua Franco as well. More gossiping than fights. It was, man. This year for a boxing content creator, man, it was like a lot of nothing. I'll be honest, it was a lot of nothing. A lot of us needed to create something to just keep the energy going, keep the interest going. Yo, I think these fighters don't know how much. I know that there's a lot of boxing content creators, they be dissing fighters and stuff like that, devaluing, disrespecting. But then there's a lot that we keep the name going, bro. Because think about it. We was talking about Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence for more than half of the year. And they ain't going nowhere. You know how many content we wasted? You know, Deontay Wilder got back, but only fought one time versus Robert Helenius. A lot of people only fought one time, even the young fighters. Very, very poor. Very, very poor. I was not happy that Jerome Bruce Ennis only fought one time. That's unacceptable. Virgil Ortiz fight one time. That's unacceptable. They young fighter that they're the one that should be fighting 3 times a year. If they fighting one time a year now, can you imagine when they're champion? They're going to be fighting every 14 months. Back in the days, back in the days in boxing, if you pass more than 8 months without fighting, leading up almost to a year, that's semi-retired. Do you know that they used to call that semi-retired in boxing? If you pass 8 months without fighting. The new boxing now is fighting in 12 months, 13 months, 14 months. That shit is not good. If these young fighters now is going to be fighting like they're champions 2 times a year, like, let's not forget the Floyd Mayweather's world, the Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao, they started the trend of fighting 2 times a year. They champions. They generate a lot of money. They only got to go to 2 training camps. But these guys, how y'all going to make a great living in boxing if you go and let y'all manager and promoter get y'all in the ring one time? That's not enough. That's not enough. Let's not forget, look, Frank Martin, let's say Frank Martin, he made $75,000 plus, and just take away all the tax. Michel Rivera finally got his big payday. That's $200,000. Of course, you're going to come back home with what? 110,000, maybe 110,000. Get a down payment on the house, right? And then throughout the whole year, he's still going to be starving for some money. Also, you got to remember, guys like, let's say in PBC, when you're your own, you're trying to become your own boss. You're just working with a manager, not an exclusive promotional deal. They don't give you that. They don't give you that that camp budget money. Where they could give you $100,000 or $150,000 to prepare for this guy. See, that's the difference. That's the difference in being with Top Rank or Golden Boy Promotions or Matchroom Boxing. When you with PBC and you really your own boss like Earl True Spence, Earl Spence got to pay for the camp of Frank Martin. A lot of money invested. It's ridiculous how inactive. I think that's the number one problem in the sport of boxing is inactivity. That's the number one problem. Because with inactivity, everybody's looking away. Everybody's looking away. ESPN is really looking away. Ain't nobody really having a dialogue or talking about old debates about boxing. Ain't nobody really talking about boxing. But us. But even it's getting hard for us to keep on talking about the sport of boxing. Look, the whole week we were really talking about Javon Tank Davis. And yeah, I could have talked about Ioka and Franco. But a lot of people really want to talk about that. A lot of people ain't interested. Now, I got to give the people what they're interested about. You know what I'm saying? WBO rules, you're supposed to defend your title every 9 months. You know, and you know that these rules is just there on paper. Nobody follow the rules, really. Nobody follow the mandatory and stuff like that. The rule is just a bunch of rules. Beyond the Ring with Onito and Raquel said, haven't watched it yet. I only watched the highlights, to be honest. Only watch the highlights. It's getting to that, man. It's getting to that. It's getting to the point where it's actually just getting like it's not enough fights. Too much talking. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nonito Donaire and Raquel Donari. Rachel Donaire. Happy New Year's, Punch. Be safe. Happy New Year's to you and the family, the boys, the mother, the father, everybody. Champ is not retired. Champ is trying to get back in the ring. Probably with Jason Maloney. Probably Estrada. Probably Chocolatito. Probably, I don't even know. I don't even know who's going to be fighting. Maybe Nonito Donaire moves up and fight Stephen Fultz. I don't know. Fight Bam Bam. There's a lot of fights right there. I'm going to say it. I still want that fight. I still want that fight with Casimero with Nonito Donaire. I don't give a damn. I don't care. That's what I want. If y'all can't get Estrada, if y'all can't get Chocolatito, if y'all can't get Jason Maloney, you know, if they drop, if you know, who vacates the belt, Casimero Nonito Donaire, still big. At the rate people fight now, by the time they become champs and defend it twice, it's time to retire. Yeah. It's unfortunate, and this is why I'm just going to be talking about Virgil Ortiz and Bruce Ennis in the welterweight. That's the primary fight. I think that these guys should stop looking at Bud and Earl Spence. Like, Boots should stop talking about Bud or Earl Spence, and Virgil Ortiz don't talk about Bud and Earl Spence, because what's going to happen is you're going to be chasing these guys that's eventually going to be leaving. And then he's going to leave you with the Virgil Ortiz. Bud Crawford is going to leave Virgil Ortiz to fight Boots Ennis. These guys are not going to fight y'all. So might as well, you know, when people interviewing, I know, yo, Boots, and yeah, you in position to fight Earl Spence. No, you're not going to fight Earl Spence. Let's put it that way. You're not going to fight Earl Spence. Stop talking about Earl Spence. The team stop talking about Earl Spence. Virgil Ortiz is the name that they actually that Boots Ennis and his camp should be talking about. Virgil Ortiz, his camp should be talking about Boots Ennis. Y'all the future. That's it. And I also think that maybe Boots Ennis is not going to stay long in the 147-pound division, because he's a big dude. Pause. We'll see. With Earl Spence. Earl Spence said he might fight in June. That's going to be too long, bro. Too long. I think he should be a champion in recess right now, in my opinion. I think Earl Spence should be champion in recess. You know, again, man, it's getting to the point where it's bored to even link these guys up. You know, Bud and Spence. That shit. Boots and Virgil. Boots versus Charlo, 154-pound division. I like that. Eric Gomes in the building. Yo, stop yawning. You're going to miss the fireworks. Nah, you know what it is? Beyond the ring is boxing got us yawning. That's what it is. Boxing got us yawning. In reality, beyond the ring, Nonito, and Rachel, there's really nothing to really be excited about. 2022 was underwhelming. 2022 was underwhelming for the most part. In general, it was underwhelming, because I feel like after the pandemic, we had better fights during the pandemic. It was better action in the pandemic. And I thought that right after the pandemic, and things was going to be opening up. I thought it was going to be having fights after fights after fights. And I believe that 2022 was very, very underwhelming. I mean, boxing didn't take advantage. Boxing didn't bring no new eyeballs into the sport of boxing. Jake Paul is doing his thing. The exhibition is doing his. Hey, I'm going to tell you like this. Floyd Mayweather was in the ring just as much as all these elite fighters. Even Manny Pacquiao got in the ring. Even Manny Pacquiao got in the ring one time this year. Now it looks like, yo, you can't. I don't think you can really become rich in boxing. It just takes long. It takes too long now. How are you gonna make money in the sport of boxing? It takes too long now. Now these young fighters ain't even fighting enough. How is Boots Ennis fighting one time a year? Can you explain that? So how is Boots fighting one time a year? Besides Tank versus Garcia, which seems like it's still going through. What else we got for 2023? Potentially, that's what I'm saying. Let's see, after the Hector Garcia, Gervonta Davis take care of business. We got that. We got the Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. We got Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. We have also Tim Zhu probably versus Jermall Charlo. Demetrius Andrade, probably Jermall Charlo later on in 2023. We probably got Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. If Josh Taylor take care of the of Josh of Catterall. We got Dimitri Bivol versus Beterbiev if Beterbiev take care of Anthony Yard. We got Canelo Alvarez stepping back inside the ring. I don't know what Cinco de Mayo. Probably he want to fight Ryder. I don't like that fight. I wish he could fight guys like Jermall Charlo. Something. We got David Benavidez versus Kalen Plant. See, these the realistic fight. We might see Pitbull Cruz versus De Los Santos. Who else? That's what y'all hear from. I think De Los Santos is gonna be fighting Pitbull Cruz. I believe that Shakur Stevenson could fight the likes of Jamie Ortiz. I think Gary Antoine Russell going to be fighting Puello to become 140-pound champion. Adrian Broner versus Red Catch. I think that's going to land in the draw, to be honest. But I believe that Adrian Broner if Adrian Broner beats Red Catch, I think it'll be Adrian Broner versus Regis Prograis. I don't know how they're going to rank Adrian Broner, but I believe it's going to be Adrian Broner versus Regis Prograis. Be okay. In the heavyweight division, I believe Joy Joyce will get a fight with Tyson Fury, to be honest. I think that fight will happen. Boots got a little sloppy with Delorme because he was getting hit by him when he had him hurt. Charlo could stop him. I think Jermall Charlo beats everybody. If anybody want to move up, I think Jermall Charlo will beat Bud Crawford. I think Jermall Charlo beats Earl Spence. If you want to fight Earl Spence, I think Jermall Charlo beats everybody at 154. And Jermall Charlo, he's a homebody, a family man. Look, he stays in shape. He said it in an interview. I don't weigh more than 10 pounds out of my weight class. He says a lifestyle to me. And sometimes you reach that age where now you are focused, you are dedicated. You want boxing to open the other avenues outside of the sport of boxing. I think Jermall Charlo is in that mode. Capitalizing, have a lot of endorsement nows. You know what I'm saying? Essential got the what's that clothing company name? Balenciaga. If you don't like Canelo versus Ryder, then just don't watch it. Yeah, I ain't gonna watch that bullshit. I'm gonna do it for my channel. No, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna critique it. I'm gonna watch it to critique it. Yeah, Canelo Alvarez should not fight Ryder. That's bullshit. Should not fight Ryder. Fight Jermall Charlo. Fight Demetrius Andrade. Wait for David Benavidez and Kalen Plant. They're available to fight Canelo Alvarez. These guys are available to fight. I don't want to see no Ryder fight. Get that bullshit out of our face. We never talked about Ryder and Canelo Alvarez. We don't need that fight. I got Crawford personally over Charlo, but I can't see it going either way. Punch, you think Haney versus Loma will happen? I believe it could happen. I think that Lomachenko looked very presentable and gave Devin Haney, which he was there in the building, front row. I think it gave him a lot of confidence to be like, you know what? I think I could squeeze to 135 to fight Lomachenko. If Lomachenko looked like he was looking versus Richard Comey or looking like he did versus Nakatani, I think that Devin Haney and his team would be like, you know what? We'll go to 140. We really don't need Lomachenko and stuff like that. So, but I think that they see something that could really, really capitalize and actually do better. And remember, I think there's more of an upside for Haney than it is Lomachenko. I think Devin Haney could get better, and I think that Lomachenko, I think he already had hit his peak, or probably still in his peak, but I don't see him getting better than what he is now. But I don't know. I don't know. It's up to if Bob Arum keep on saying the deal's right there is on the table and is already ready. They just waiting on sites and dates. Then it's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that you know what else they're going to be talking about. Haney always been confident against Loma. I don't know. They should have petitioned for that fight a long time ago. I think now they're highly confident. I think their team is. Sometimes it's not about the fighter. Sometimes it's about the team. You know what I'm saying? Fighters are always going to be confident. This is what they do. When they're training, they believe they could be everybody in the world. Fighters are going to be comfortable. That doesn't mean their team is comfortable for them to take the fight. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, I think most of the time is the team, the matchmakers, the promoters, the investors that invested in your career for you to be in that position. Now we're not ready for you to take a loss because we invested so much money. Nah. It's the team. These fighters think they could be anybody. Who become a world champion first? Ortiz Jr. or Boots Ennis? And if they fought each other, who wins? Right now, the way that is looking, both of these guys are in the same position. I think it depends on what Earl Spence is going to do. Because if Earl Spence drops the belts and Virgil Ortiz fights Stanionis, then Virgil Ortiz, if he beats Stanionis, he gets elevated as Super WBA champion. But I think it's gonna have to do. Look, they got the division in hostage right now. Bud Crawford and Earl Spence got the belt hostage right now. They're not unifying the titles. They're holding the division on hostage. They're not fighting. They only fought one time this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be up to what these guys do. And I think that Boots and Virgil in the same position. And this is why they should not hold their own legacy. They should just fight each other. Because I think I think even though there's no belts, it's almost like Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the best fights in the sport of boxing, or probably the most lucrative fight in the sport of boxing, especially on this side of the pond. If Virgil Ortiz fight Boots Ennis right now, that's like a ultimate championship fight. Boots Ennis Virgil Ortiz is going to be top 5 fight of the year. No matter, there is no belts on the line. It doesn't matter. Just like Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder is going to be one of the best fights in boxing with no belts. So at this point in boxing, belts is not really it's sad to say, it's unfortunate. But look, if Jermall Charlo moves up to 168 and the WBC be like, yo, you got to drop that belt. You got to drop that belt for 160. If you want to move to 168, you're not going to campaign over there no more. And Demetrius Andrade fight Jermall Charlo on 168. Do y'all care about the belts? Nah. Do you care about the belts Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder? No. Do you care about the belts with Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia? Nah. Just like the UK people didn't give a damn about Kell Brook versus Mia Khan. There was no belts, and it sold out in the same day. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yo. In England, we don't have that kind of politics that drags on for years. The promoters make the fight happen for the fans. Pitbull not taking any risk fights. See, it's like Pitbull. Do you believe that Pitbull want to fight? I believe that Pitbull fights anybody. If he performed like that versus Gervonta Tank Davis, he will fight anybody. But does his business handlers want to get him to fight? Does his business handlers want him to fight Shakur Stevenson? Does his business handlers want him to fight Lomachenko? See, that's what it is. It's the business handlers. It's just like that. Like I've been saying, Jermall Charlo, Jaime Munguia was supposed to be fighting, and the business is the business that didn't make the fight happen. It was the egos. It was the egos of Showtime and the Zone. But really, Golden Boy Promotion, the Zone, because we know that the champion is Jermall Charlo. So they should have let Jaime Munguia go to and let Showtime do the work. You know what I'm saying? But see, it's the egos of the promoters and the networks. That's what messed up the fight. Had nothing to do with Jermall Charlo. Had nothing to do with Jaime Munguia. And this is why I was a little bit like upset how this community would keep on going with the jumping of the Charlo of Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo signed up to fight Canelo Alvarez. That was the deal that was on the table. Canelo Alvarez chose the deal on the Zone, but that doesn't mean Jermall Charlo was not prepared. Was not training. He was training and preparing, and he signed his end to fight Canelo Alvarez in Cinco de Mayo. That didn't happen, right? And then he signed his end to fight Jaime Munguia. That didn't happen. And then everybody want to be like, but he's inactive. Who is he fighting? Who? Everybody got on Jermall Charlo's case when it was time for him to fight Sulecki. But when it was time for him, when he signed up to fight these guys, y'all all up on Jermall Charlo. Y'all see the bullshit they did to Demetrius Andrade and that fake ass purse bid. Like if y'all really think that he's gonna be fighting for 183K. Come on, man. That's dumb, and that's dumb for the boxing world to think that you supposed to be like, hey, yo, they doing you dirty. Everybody should be like, hey, yo, they was doing Demetrius Andrade dirty. He was gonna get $1.2 million to fight Parker, and then all of a sudden these guys are going to be fighting for 183K. Come on, that's a slap in the face, man. That's a spit in the face. That's like you going to your job all day and you getting paid fucking $30 an hour, and then the next week you're doing the same job, same time, and they be like, hey, yo, you're gonna get paid minimum wage. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. What you gonna do? Sometimes my people be like, hey, yo, matter of fact, man, I'd rather be out, man. I'd rather be out and look for a job. That's I can't swallow my pride to get paid this much, and then my boss tells me that I gotta pay. He's gonna be paying me $7 an hour or something like that. Get the fuck out of here. I got bills to take. I got big houses and stuff like that. My water bill and stuff like I can't afford to go to training camp and pay everybody off and stuff like that. Pay for a camp, pay for a championship camp. Pay for a championship camp, and then they pay me 183K, and I'm gonna come home with almost 100K. Fuck out of here, man. Isn't that what they wanted to do with Crawford? Nah, man, they was paying Crawford. They was paying Crawford. Hey, yo, you know what? Nobody in PBC, especially on big fights, ever complained about PBC money. That's why these guys love Al Heyman, right? Canelo Alvarez didn't complain. Manny Pacquiao didn't complain. Earl Spence is not complaining. Gervonta Davis not complaining. Keith Thurman is not complaining. A lot of these guys don't complain. Look at what Danny Garcia just tweeted. Danny Garcia ain't complaining. He living good. The Charlos is living good. Come on, man. The thing is, people are getting confused on the money that's reported. I'm gonna tell you again, folks. I've been saying this throughout the whole year. Matter of fact, ever since I started my channel, I've been telling y'all. The money that you see reported on the surface, that's not really the money that they get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop falling for the cap. And these fighters is not going to tell you exactly how much they got paid. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. There's a lot. In boxing, I'm going to say the good thing about the sport of boxing is how do you wash your money. It's how you move your money. They can't talk about PBC in their contract. Crawford himself. I'm talking about they can't talk about the money. I seen it with my own eyes, bro. I seen it with my own eyes. That's when I actually learned. I'm not going to say the name of the check that I seen. I seen a check in which, in the surface, he made almost triple, almost quadruple the money that was reported. Once I saw that shit, I'm like, come on, man. Y'all don't know. I'm telling y'all don't know, man. There's money. And look, I'm not saying that sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's actually less. Sometimes they don't get the money that they say they're making. But it's also a wash. It's how they hide their money, man. I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of ways that you can maneuver your money in boxing. So when people be like, hey, yo, Spence, you only made $2 million fighting this guy. And aerospace going to look at you like that. I believe that. No, believe that. Believe that. 35% of the net sounds like a wash. Come on, man. It's a lot. It's a lot, bro. Yo. Oh, man. Sometimes I wish y'all knew what I knew. Sometimes I wish, but you know what, man? You know what I understand also? That even when I've given exclusive information, motherfuckers don't support it like that. Yo, become a member, support. I got some exclusive information. People don't want to support the channel the way they do, man. Sometimes I say shit I ain't even supposed to say just so y'all can understand the sport of boxing. People going to want to argue with me. No, this person make this much money. That's why I don't even argue how much these people make in the sport of boxing. Pun's going to be a promoter. Nah, man. Promoter's a lot of risk, man. You could lose money as being a promoter as well. I want to be an advisor. I want to be an advisor shadowed by being a manager. That's how you don't get sued, by being an advisor. That's how you get sued. James Kelly, Punch. Why don't they show fights at the movie theaters or the local convention centers or even military installations? These are more feasible for those who cannot afford a pay-per-view or can't be on site at the actual event. Yo, to be honest, James Kelly, I even think that movie theaters is losing their money and stuff like that. Good looking out, James Kelly. God bless you, my brother. Good looking out for the support. I think they used to do that too on big fights. There's gonna be bars out there. Bars be buying the fights, and people will still be going out. I think that bars and restaurants really got comfortable in buying the pay-per-views for UFC. You know, I think that boxing don't give the fights in which bars are going to spend that type of money. Because you got to remember, when these bars spend for pay-per-view, they spend a lot of money because it's on TV, on each TV and each cable box or whatever they got, whatever. It's a lot of money. I think boxing is not giving not even the casuals. Not even the casuals, the interest for casuals to come, I'm sorry, not even boxing. They're not giving the interest to hardcore boxing fans. Boxing is not even spiking the interest. We just here because we love boxing and we know the history, and the history of the boxing is so documented. We love boxing. And there's some fights here and there. There's some anticipation bouts that we want to see. But in reality, boxing is not quenching the thirst of the boxing fans. That's why now, James, that's why now there's a lot of people that's actually respecting boxing content creators more than fighters. There are boxing content creators that's making more money than certain particular fighters. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that rather listen to us talk than actually a fighter. How many times you've been? Let me give you an example. How many times you watch The Boxing Voice and they interview you and a fighter and you're like, you tuning out? That's when you tune out. You probably want to just listen to Ness and Danny. You just want to listen to Blue Bloods. You just probably want to listen to Fanon, or you want to listen to Showbiz. And I'm gonna tell you like that, it's probably more lucrative for these guys to even just talk to the audience. Forget about, because once they bring somebody in or a boxer that they don't know, and then the numbers will go low. At this point, even the fighters is not doing. It's not giving the fans interest in terms of social media. They're not interesting humans outside of boxing. Tyson Fury is, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez does his thing, Anthony Joshua does his thing, but these guys don't know how to hustle like Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather, Julio Cesar Chavez, Sugar Ray Leonard. These guys are Mike Tyson. They're still hustling. They're still working for their brand, their last name. They're still working out there. They're out there. These guys are better than the guys today. YouTube content creators aren't reading the contracts or seeing the pay cuts. It's all reporting. I'm gonna tell you like this: there's some YouTube boxing content creator that knows more than quote unquote insiders. Yo, the game's changed. We are the insiders. Some of us are the insiders. Sometimes I get more. I get more information than my competition when Mike Coppinger, look, there's some information that Mike Coppinger reports, and I've been known for months. But he's gonna get the credit. He's gonna get the he got that ESPN machine behind him. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I want to thank Al Heyman, the PBC, and Showtime. True brand nowadays is more lucrative than just having talent. Yeah, man, you got to be more than that. It's like you got to be more than that. You got to be you got to look it. I wish Virgil Ortiz would show more of himself. You know what I'm saying? I wish that these at this point, it's like they're not the fighters is not even interesting to keep the boxing fans engaged with them. Virgil Ortiz did not fight, only fought one time this year. And then he don't want to show his face. And then he's not even active in social media really like that to be interesting. Like, and then he gets it's like, it's hard for these guys to make good money. These guys could make better money. These guys don't want to even keep the boxing fans engaged. That's why look it. I just seen a video with Ryan Garcia with the MMA guy. So he's keeping his face. He's doing content with other people that got a large fan base. Like he's keeping it moving. Ryan Garcia does content with the Paul brothers and stuff like that. He knows what to do. Ryan Garcia gets way more money outside of the sport of boxing. That's why he could actually say, you know what, I'm not going to fight a tune-up. I'm just going to wait for Javon Davis. Because he already got money. I even forget how Virgil Ortiz sound like, bro. Shout out to his pops. Shout out to Virgil Ortiz, but they do a horrible job promoting themselves, man. They're not out. They don't want to mingle with the people. They don't want to mingle with the people. They don't want to mingle with the people. You know what I'm saying? These fighters don't know how to mingle with the people. You know, at least Earl Spence, he goes to a lot of these fights as well. So he gets to people at least get to he's always into these fights. So you get good content out of Earl Spence because at least you can ask him some questions. Like, even though that his personality is kind of but at least he's out there. He's showing his face. Rolly Romero is not even a top 10 lightweight. But if you wasn't really into the sport of boxing, you would think that Rolly Romero is a top 5 of lightweight. But because you know Rolly Romero in America just as much as you know Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. You know Rolly Romero just as much. But because he's loud, you know him. Look at what's his name? Look at Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobb's not even top 10. He ain't top 10 welterweight. But when you talk about the welterweight division, you're gonna be like, hey, yo, okay, you got the Bud Crawford of the world, the Earl Spence, the Boots, the Thurman, and even Thurman don't do a good job in social media. But the thing is, he fought good fights and left an impression on the boxing fans, but the casuals don't know Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia go to fights, you know what I'm saying? But Danny Garcia already did enough to create that type of interest. If Blair Cobbs didn't speak, can you imagine where Blair Cobbs, I believe that he's still a free agent. We're the only one that talk, a couple of channels are the only one that talk about Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi Ellis don't talk. I just think that boxers don't know how to promote themselves, man. And you got all the tools to do so. Jake Paul is the most popular American boxer today. He is. And hey, could be unfortunate for people, but it is what it is. Danny's dad is a great salesman. Used to be. Now he's kind of quiet too. Floyd Mayweather Sr. is known just as much as all these fighters as well. He could talk. He lights the room up. Teofimo Lopez Sr. lights the room up. It don't matter if you hate him or love him. Teofimo Lopez Sr., he's needed in boxing. He's just like how Angel Garcia, Ghost Guerrero's dad, Mayweather Sr. He's needed. That's part of the brand. That's part of the push. That's part of the marketing. His Tio's dad. It's probably it's included with the package. I think if Usyk know how to speak English, if you know how to speak English, I think he'll be man charismatic. You could tell, not even knowing how to speak his understand his language, you could tell that he's a charismatic person. Facts, Steven. One of the problems, one it's true. This is facts. One of the problems in boxing is the fans don't matter to anyone, but they all want the fans' money. It is, man. Yeah, these fighters, you know what I'm saying? They want that easy money. So and they get people are giving the easy money. Some of these fighters do want the fight though. And then Denzel Washington knows Ugas. I seen that. Glad that Ugas fought Manny Pacquiao. Because Ugas is gonna be the guy that retire Manny Pacquiao. See that? Just like Sando Martin is the guy that retired Mikey Garcia. Who else? Who else? But yeah, man. The 2023, I think is gonna be a good year. I think the women is gonna be doing better. I think there's the golden era for women boxing. I think they're doing a hell of a job, and I think that one of the things that I'm gonna mention, and maybe women, maybe they'll take it. Maybe they don't know how to take this credit. Maybe what I'm about to say. I think that the women fighters are much better looking now. I think that that's what's also capturing the fans. you know, James Kelly, another super chat. My brother said Rolly is a showboat, which is smart to talk junk. When I was growing up watching ABC, CBS Sports, boxers would interrupt others. Boxers interviews X Hector Macho Senior. Yeah, man. We need that. That's why these guys, Buck Crawford, the early true spin should have done with what Muhammad Ali and Frazier did. Go everywhere, promote that. Y'all remember Hearns and Hagler went on a 22 state or city promo tour for a whole month. They just went to all over the country promoting their fight, TV, radio. It was everywhere. So by the time Monday, remember, Hagler versus Hearn was on a Monday night prime. It was not even a Saturday fight. It was not Sunday. It was not Friday. It was Monday. It was Monday evening. Hagler versus Hearns was on a Monday. These guys want to promote Twitter. These guys want to promote with words. These guys could go live, and they could even at each other live. Like Earl Spence could go IG live at Bud Crawford. Let's talk about this deal. You understand what I'm trying to say? They don't even know how to promote it right. James Kelly was good. Yeah, back in the day, these guys was going on city tours. Now they do 2 cities. They do a Zoom call. They do 1 city and a Zoom call. Like they got lazy. They got, even the promotional company got so lazy. They got so lazy to promote fighters. YSM said, yo, I'm not sure if Crawford cares enough about promoting his fights to do that. But that's what it is. They leaving money. They leaving money on the table. That's what they doing. They leave money on the table because they know that promotion is what gets them the bag. Yeah, you could get your purse, but if you promote yourself, that's more money. You know what I'm saying? Good looking out, bro. That's more money. Promote yourself is more money. The reason why Rolly Romero and Javante Davis made money is because Rolly's mouth. The reason why Manny Pacquiao versus Keith and Tom Thurman, remember Manny Pacquiao and Adrian Broner did 400 plus K, but with Keith Thurman, when he was talking so much shit, that was 600K, almost 700K. Another 200K for Keith Thurman. And around that time, I know that more people know Adrian Broner than Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman The way that he was trash talking just was entertaining for people. Spence don't promote himself, but he's always out there to mingle with the people. That's the difference. That's what I was saying earlier. Earl Spence may not know how to promote himself, but Earl Spence is visible. Earl Spence, Earl Spence goes to a lot of fights. Earl Spence, you could tell, is a fight fan too. He goes to a lot of these fights, and you got the opportunity to ask him questions, which equals content, and then everybody is talking about him. He might not be rah-rah, he might not be a rah-rah guy, but he's always available. Earl Spence is seen, and that's what's good about Earl the True Spence. He is seen. He let himself be seen. He does interviews. He does a lot of interviews. You know what I'm saying? But these guys don't even got to do the Conor McGregor stuff. They don't got to do Floyd Mayweather stuff. Just engage more with the boxing fans, especially in today, because the mass media, these late night talk shows, Jimmy Kimmel is not inviting you for an interview. You're not going to Good Morning America. You're not going to The View. You're not going to First Take. You're not going to none of these. They're not talking about you. They're not interested in you. So you got to go to all these boxing content creators channels. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to these podcasts as well, because podcast is what it is. Go to $1 million worth of games. Go with Dame Dash. Go with Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Get your business handlers to mingle with people that got high traffic. Go to No Ballers. Go to these guys. These guys don't even know how to do IG live and call each other out. They just tweet each other. Be like, you ain't shit. That's it. Twitter wars. Man, if it was me, if I was a fighter, that interaction with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, I would do it like the verses. You see how the verses? Triller did the verses. Hey, yo, matter of fact, let's talk to the fans. Let's talk trash to the fans. Let's build each other up. Let's build our portfolio. We're both free agents. We could get more money. We're both free agents, Bud. If I was Bud, I'd tell Earl, we both free agents, bro. Let's build this shit. Let's get more money in the bag. Look, just like Bud Crawford called up Earl Spence and say, hey, yo, I got $25 million a piece. Why he called them up? Like if that was like they boys, $25 a piece. Call each other up and promote this fight. Call each other up. Hey, let's do this IG shit. IG live, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. And let's go. Let's work. Oh, yo, Earl said this. Yo, Bud said this. Now we all talking about it. ESPN picks it up, and then it's promotion. Then it's building. That's a real buildup. Look how we go back and talk about when they first met each other. That was 2008. That was 2018. That was 2018. And we're still holding on to that moment because they only had that one moment. Now, can you imagine if somebody would have videotaped what's good? The fans corner was good. Now, can you imagine if if what you call it? If remember when Ryan Garcia stepped up to Gervonta Tan Davis in the club and Gervonta Tan Davis held this chain or something like that, right? Imagine that would have been on video. That shit would have built up the fight even more. That shit would have built up the fight even more. Come on, man. Y'all gotta do a better job. Y'all gotta do a better job promoting yourself, man. And then the fans want to see him more. It's like, damn, I wanted to see Gervonta Tan Davis versus Tevin Farmer, the way they was going at each other in Vegas in the mall. Man, I wanted to see that fight go. Why you want to see Haney versus Teofimo Lopez? Because you see them a couple of times going at one another, throw shots at one another. See, that's how you promote in boxing. That's good promotion. Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, and stuff like that. That's good promotion. You know? Going in each other's face. That's why I like what Demetrius Andrade do. He go to people's he crashes the press conference. But a lot of these fans, y'all just went one-sided with it. But at least he went, all right, at least he ain't tweet about Canelo Alvarez. He ain't tweet about Jermall Charlo. He ain't tweet Triple G. He went to their faces. He went to, yo, let's get this fight going. Oh, let's talk about it, instead of people want to be like, well, he hasn't done nothing. He don't deserve the fight. Man, shut the now. It's funny that fans now in boxing have become the protectors. That's what's sad. That's another highlight. Fans have become protectors of fighters. Fans have become, no, Canelo's not gonna fight you. You don't deserve the fight. No, you don't deserve the fight. My Canelo is not going to fight you. Fans have become the protectors now. Forget about the fans. Forget about being fanagers. Oh, now they're bodyguards now. Fans have become bodyguards now. No, Canelo's not going to fight Charlo. Charlo doesn't deserve the fight. No, Canelo, don't fight Charlo. They don't deserve it. No, and don't fight David Benavidez too, because he was sniffing coke and shit like that. He lost his belt. He don't deserve it. Tell him to go to another rehab and stuff like that. Demetrius Andrade, no. Who Demetrius Andrade fought? No. He don't get the fight. No. Canelo, you don't fight him. How about Ryder? Okay, Canelo, you can fight Ryder. Boy, you don't fight him. No, not the Demetrius Charlo. No, Charlo, no Demetrius. Ryder. Ryder's good, Canelo. You can fight Ryder. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't hate or want to create. No. You know, he's not even a threat like that. Fight Ryder. It's protectors now. That's sad, bro. I never heard this shit coming up in the sport of boxing. But the thing is, this is what it is. They're not protecting fighters. You know what they're protecting? You know what fans are protecting? They're not really protecting the fighters, even though that it sounds like that. They're not protecting the fighters. What they're protecting is the narrative. Fans, because boxing don't give us so much, we're so glued into the narrative war. That's what it is. There's a narrative war in the YTBC. The narrative war. You got to pick a side. You going up against the channels that hate Canelo Alvarez, so you go after. Charlo's not gonna get the fight because of course they use Charlo, they use Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez to shame Canelo Alvarez. So you're like, no, Ryder gets the fight. I mean, Ryder did fight Zach Parker, and he got a position for Canelo Alvarez fight. So says Ryder gonna get the fight because they know that they want Canelo to fight Demetrius Andrade Charlo. So the other side is going to say, but Ryder had the best win. So Ryder gets the fight. No, Andrade and Charlo should not get the fight. This is what it is. That's boxing right now. It's a narrative war. Not even about the fight. It's just the narrative. I got to protect my narrative. And I got to protect the narrative that I'm in cahoots with. I got to protect the narrative that I support. I got to protect the narrative of this boxing channel. I got to protect it by any means necessary. He doubts himself against Boo Boo. I think his whole team does. His whole team does. Demetrius Andrade is the most avoided fighter of this era. Probably the most avoided fighter that I've ever seen. Probably the most avoided fighter in the history of the sport of boxing. That's just facts. And I'm talking about avoided by fighters that we actually know and respect. Demetrius did it the old way by crashing boxing conferences. That scares other boxers. Ali against Sonny Liston. Liston thought all was crazy and it worked. Ali was crazy. Yep. See, James Kelly, you know, and you come from the old. And you know what's funny, James? It's funny when people be like, yo, I want boxing to be like it used to be back in the days with Ali, back in the days with Leonard and Duran and Hagler and Hearns and, you know what I'm saying, and Frazier and stuff like that. But then with people like Demetrius Andrade, just like you said, he does what old school people did. Trying to get these fights, you got these protectors. No, who did Demetrius Andrade fight to get the fight? No, he don't deserve it. No, he don't deserve it. Look at now, James. These guys are bodyguards, bro. They're Kevin Costner, man, trying to protect Whitney Houston's. Nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. A bunch of these dudes is Kevin Costner, bro. Trying to be the bodyguard of Canelo Alvarez and shit like that, man. I'm a fan of Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, King Nelo, aka Cartelo, aka Payday, aka get the fuck out of here, man. But I don't protect nobody, man. He's a man. He a fighter. He don't need protection from me. He don't need protection from us. I'm a fan. Look, if you're a true fan of Canelo Alvarez, you want him to fight everybody. If you're a true fan of your particular fighter, you want him to fight the best. I like Teofimo Lopez. I want him to fight Josh Taylor. I like Teofimo Lopez. I want him to fight Regis Prograis. I'm not saying, nah, Tio, you don't need to fight Josh Taylor. I mean, you don't need to fight Josh Taylor. You don't need to fight Regis Prograis. I mean, he just beat Cepeda. I mean, who really was Cepeda, really? You know what I'm saying? You don't need to fight him. You got nothing to prove. Nah. That's y'all motherfuckers, man. I want Deontay Wilder to face. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I want him to face Anthony Joshua. I want them to fight the best. I'm Keith from Tom Thurman. What I say all the time. And y'all be the one be like, nah, he shouldn't fight. Earl Spence shouldn't fight Keith because when Earl Spence wanted to fight, Keith ain't giving the fight. So no. Earl Spence should not fight Keith Thurman because back in the days when Earl Spence called him out, y'all some protection shit. Y'all on protecting a fighter. Y'all knowing that Earl Spence versus Keith Thurman is a fucking one of the best fights in the welterweight division to make. If it's not Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence, Keith Thurman and Earl Spence is one of the most lucrative fight in the welterweight division. Y'all know that. But because y'all want to stick to the narrative, see, y'all fighting the narrative. You're not even fighting boxing. No. Y'all want to be Earl Spence protector. No. Keith Thurman should not get the shot. Because I remember when Earl Spence called him out and stuff like that, and he didn't want to fight him, and then, so now, no. Oh, some protection shit, bro. Trying to be fucking Earl Spence bodyguard. Just say the truth. You know the threat that Keith Thurman possessed. So you want Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence bad, and you know that Keith Thurman has all the tools, all the power, all the intellect to throw in that monkey wrench. And you afraid of that. You afraid that Keith Thurman will beat Earl Spence, and then you won't get the fight that a lot of people want to see. Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence. That's why. You don't want Canelo Alvarez to face Demetrius Andrade or Jermall Charlo, because you know if Canelo Alvarez loses to Demetrius Andrade or Charlo, you will question how great you thought Canelo Alvarez was, because you don't respect Andrade and Charlo. So that's why it's better that Canelo Alvarez, he takes the challenge to fight Demetrius Bivol, but y'all could swallow that pill. Y'all won't swallow. A lot of y'all motherfuckers will run and never come to YouTube ever again to face that narrative. So y'all be like, y'all build hurdles and bricks and stuff like that. Y'all don't want Canelo to face. That's why it's easy for face Ryder. Go fight Ryder. Canelo, go fight Ryder better. Because y'all scared as fans. Y'all scared that Canelo Alvarez loses to a guy that y'all don't respect, but y'all know he got all the skills in the world. So y'all don't want him to fight. Y'all don't want Canelo Alvarez to fight Demetrius Andrade, because Demetrius Andrade whooped Canelo Alvarez's ass. All that, Canelo Alvarez is the best Mexican since Julio Cesar Chavez. All that, you will be like, damn, was Canelo Alvarez even great? Because, and he is great. Even if he loses to Demetrius Andrade, Canelo Alvarez is great. But the thing is, y'all don't respect Demetrius Andrade. For y'all, that would be an upset. To be out. Let me ask a boxing question for you. Let me see if you really, really dislike Demetrius Andrade or don't respect Demetrius Andrade. If Demetrius Andrade fight Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade beats Canelo Alvarez, would that be a major upset? Would that be a major upset? Or you like, he always had the skills to beat Canelo Alvarez? If Demetrius Andrade fight Canelo Alvarez, let me see. Let me put the question. Damn, I should put the question up. I should put this question up. If Demetrius Andrade fight Canelo Alvarez and beat Canelo Alvarez, beat him in the decision, do y'all think that's a major upset? Let's keep it real. And then I want to ask if y'all think that if Keith Thurman beats Earl Spence, do y'all believe that that's an upset too? To real boxing fans, not fans of fighters, it wouldn't be an upset. I'm not cool with that. But I want to know what other people say. If you think the beats Andre being Canelo, you think you're gonna scream, "Oh shit, yo, I ain't even know, yo, that shit some Buster Douglas shit. That shit was on some Tio Cambosa shit. I never could imagine that shit." Let's be honest. Let's see how good of a fight you really think, or how bad of a fight you really think this is. This is. Do you think that if Canelo Alvarez fight the beats Andre and the beats Andre beats Canelo Alvarez, is that a major upset? Or is it that you always knew that he had the skills to beat Canelo Alvarez? Demetrius Andrade beating Canelo would not be an upset. James Kelly. Shout out to James Kelly. I agree with you 100%, James Kelly. But there's a lot of people out here. I want to know what a lot of people are going to say. See, now they don't want to type James Kelly. They're like, I don't think it's an upset. Oh, no. They know. They know, James. They know. But their hatred and to protect a narrative, they're going to lie to themselves. And that's, you know what's that sad, James? It's sad that these people would lie to themselves to protect a YouTube narrative. To protect a YouTube narrative, they will swallow their pride and their intellect. Good looking now, James Kelly. High, low. D-man, low. If it's moonshine, it got to be great, better than Frosted Flakes. Dímelo, señor. ¿Quién tú crees gana? Who you think wins? Demetrius Andrade, Canelo Alvarez. Dandara said Andre being Canelo will be, let's talk major upset, because at the end of the day, once a favor, you were the underdog, that would be an upset. Would that be an upset? Would that be an upset if Demetrius Andrade beats Canelo? Would that be a major upset the way, because y'all think that he trash, right? He's a terrible fighter. So would that be an upset? Because if y'all saying, let's get this clear. And look, once I say this, how much you want to bet down? A lot of people gonna really go in and give me their opinion. Because if it's not an upset, if it's not a major upset that Demetrius Andrade could beat Canelo Alvarez, if it's not a major upset, that Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo Alvarez is a good fight. And if it's a good fight, it's a fight that should be respected and made. Keith will be more of an upset to me. Where do you see now? Let's be real. This is what I mean. Be real. What did Earl Spence do so significant than Keith Tom Thurman for y'all to say that if Keith Thurman beats Earl Spence, it's an upset? What did he do? What did Earl Spence do for you to say, shit, if Keith Thurman beats Earl Spence, that's an upset? What did he do? Did he show you something versus Sean Porter that Keith Thurman didn't do? Did he show you something versus Mikey Garcia? Did he show you something versus Danny Garcia? What did Earl Spence show you that you think if Keith Thurman beats Earl Spence, that's a, oh my God, upset? High, low. Mr. Mooshan, the narrative slayer. Díselo, coño, esa gente. Let's go into the new 2023 year without being emotional. Let's be the real hardcore boxer fans. Let's be the hardcore buy. Let's speak with intellect. Let's speak really unbiased, logically, and objectively, because these fighters ain't giving you a 9-0, right? We don't gotta be protected. We don't gotta be bodyguards. Just let's call it what we see. Let's we don't gotta devalue and disrespect people. One fighter could be better than the other. One fighter could be better than the other. Hunter of the hunt. That's what Demetrius Andrade is doing. He hunting Jermall Charlo for cooking, bro. Good looking out, man. Appreciate you, Hunter of the hunt. Good looking with the super chat, my brother, man. Good looking out for the support, man. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. God bless you. Hope you're having a good. We got what two more hours to go for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shout out to the people in England, across the pond, Australia, everybody already that's celebrating New Year's, man. Shout out to everybody. Tell me, come on. Y'all, come on, y'all know, come on. Let's be. I'll put it this. All right, put it. I'll give y'all not an assignment, but I'm gonna give y'all a pass. A lot of you guys, let's be real. A lot of you guys are channel hoppers. Y'all might come and support my channel. Y'all go to another channel. They go in live. Y'all support their channel. Y'all support different type of channels, right? And that's cool. Great. You know what I'm saying? Keeps everything rolling. All the boxing content creators, cool, right? Y'all go to people's channel and stuff like that. But be real. Y'all know the channels also that y'all go to. And y'all know the narrative that they push. Maybe when y'all come to Punch on Boxing, y'all can actually be real. If you hate Demetrius Andrade, yet you know his skills. Say the truth. Say the truth here. And then you go to the narrative pushes and you go have fun over there. And you could go out there to the narrative pushes, the people that hate all these fighters and try to keep a narrative. Then you have fun over there with the narrative. That's the beauty. You could choose. Don't come with somebody's narrative over here and try to think that's gonna pass. Looking at the skill set, you know it wouldn't be an upset. It wouldn't be an upset. Now you could choose. Now you could say, okay, I got Canelo Alvarez winning. But Demetrius Andrade beating Canelo Alvarez, that's no upset. Just like Demetrius Andrade beating Jermall Charlo is no upset. If Jermall Charlo beats Demetrius Andrade, it's no upset. If Demetrius Andrade beats Triple G, is an upset? No. Y'all know that. All right, I'm giving my opinion. Do y'all think Demetrius Andrade beating Triple G is an upset? Major, let's talk major upset, because one is going to be the favorite, one's going to be the underdog. But let's be real. Let's be real. Is it an upset? Then Luke already dropped 51 points already. If Keith Thurman beats Earl Spence, that shit is no upset, bro. It's no upset. That should not be no upset. I don't think Earl Spence done something incredible and I'm like, wow, Keith Thurman beat Earl. I don't see it. It won't be an upset. Somebody gonna be the favorite, whether it's Bud, whether it's Earl Spence, if they ever fight each other. If Bud beats Earl Spence, it's not an upset of me. Vice versa, it's not an upset of me. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, it's more of an upset if Boots beats Earl Spence than Keith Thurman beating Earl Spence, because Keith Thurman is not your, oh, he passed the eye test. Keith Thurman is the proven fighter, the proven champion that beat good welterweight opponents in their prime. See, Boots Ennis, I'm a fan of Boots Ennis. Y'all know that. But he passes the eye test. Virgil Ortiz passes the eye test. Virgil Ortiz beating Virgil Ortiz beating Earl or Boots beating Earl is more of an upset if Keith Thurman beats them. Now you may say, I like Boots better. You can't even say that Boots Ennis is more active than Keith Thurman. You can't even say that. We can't even say that. You can't even say that Virgil Ortiz is more active than Keith Thurman. James Kelly 2023 should wake up and understand that if it was not for the fans, they would not be where they are. Facts. Appreciate the fans by giving us fights and talented undercards. See, I like that card in DC. Even though there's a lot of showcase fights there, but I'm paying for that pay-per-view. Gervonta Tank Davis, Hector Garcia. I get to see Boots Ennis. I get to see Demetrius Andrade. I get to see Rashidi Ellis back in the ring. It might not be the matchup fights, but I'm paying to see these guys perform. I respect all those fighters that's performing. And I hope they all perform, good. And I think that will lead to bigger fight. I think that Rashidi Ellis, look, if Rashidi Ellis does his thing, right? You could see and does his thing and looks spectacular. We could see Rashidi Ellis versus Boots Ennis. If Boo Boo does his thing and looks spectacular like he did his last fight, or we're gonna be pumping that Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. If Gervonta Tank Davis looks vulnerable versus Hector Garcia, then you know what people gonna say? You know what people gonna say? Think about this. If Tank Davis look vulnerable versus Hector Garcia, let's say he struggles with Hector Garcia, but still, let's say wins the fight. But let's say it's controversial. You know what people gonna say? Damn, Shakur Stevenson ran from Hector Garcia in the super featherweight division. Why he couldn't make weight? You know what I'm saying? Even though that, of course, that's going to be a narrative, but I like these fights, man. Let's not forget that we was going to get Tim Zhu versus Jermall Charlo. For all the narrative pushers that, the narrative channels that be like, they hate the PBC, they're on that PBC parade. Nah, man. They announced that they're winning and they petitioned to give us some fights. TGB petitioned for Thurman and Earl Spence. They're talking about Ryan Garcia and Deontay. Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder. They're talking about Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. They talked about Jermall Charlo and Tim Zhu. It was supposed to be January 28th. Erickson Lubin going to be making a splash. You know what I'm saying? These guys are, I think, 2023 PBC. And you tell the people that hate PBC that PBC takes over 2023. Al Heyman got new money, and they're going to be taking over. They're going to take over 2023. And all the people that was shitting on PBC, watch. PBC is going to have one of the best years of the sport of boxing. Watch. That's what I believe in. Mr. Moonshine, the keeper of objectivity. God bless you. High low. God bless you with a super chat. God bless you, mi hermano, mi hermano, mi hermano. Que Dios te bendiga. Boots versus Ellis, hell yeah, facts. Thurman 5 fights in the last 7 years. Thurman been done. Thurman looking to cash himself out. But everybody looking to cash. Everybody looking for the cash, my brother. Thurman 5 fights in the last 7 years. But who did he fight? And in the last 7 years, what everybody else been doing? Think about that. That's what I'm saying. Thurman 5 fights in the last 7 years. Thurman been done. Thurman looking to cash himself out. What everybody else been doing for the last 7 years? If Thurman been so inactive for all these years, what everybody else been doing? Let me know what Bud been doing. Let's say that Keith Thurman really has been inactive after the Danny Garcia fight, right? Really inactive after the Danny Garcia fight. Bud Crawford became champion. Bud Crawford became champion in 2018 when he came to the welterweight division when he beat Jeff Horn. What else has he done after that? If this guy has not done enough, what everybody else been doing? Let's not forget that Earl Spence just unified the titles now. Earl Spence just unified the third belt that he did something more significant to Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman had 2 belts. Earl Spence just got another belt, enhanced his legacy past a Keith Thurman just this year. Earl Spence only fought 1 time this year. Bud Crawford only fought 1 time this year. Keith Thurman only fought 1 time this year. Virgil Ortiz only fought 1 time this year. Boots Ennis only fought 1 time this year. These guys is not giving me anything significant to make me believe that they're not just as done as Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman done, they're just as done as Keith Thurman. Earl Spence said he's going to be back in the ring in probably June, May. April. These guys ain't doing nothing that we didn't think they was going to do. These guys ain't doing nothing that we didn't think they was going to do. You think it was a surprise that Earl Spence beat Ugas? You think it was a surprise that Bud Crawford knocked out David Avanesian? You think that was a surprise? Come on, these guys ain't doing nothing more significant than Keith from Tom Thurman. Sorry, I ain't going with that. Moonshine, the keep of objectivity in the sport of boxing. Oh, looking out, brother. Good looking out, brother. Thurman struggled with Josecito Lopez, lost to Pac-Man, struggled with Barrios. He ain't struggled with no Barrios. He outboxed Barrios, bro. What are you talking about? He struggled with Barrios. How the fuck you struggle with Barrios and you win every goddamn round? You look at the scorecard. I went to that fight. What you mean he struggled with Barrios? The problem is you gauging the knockout of Gervonta Tan Davis versus Barrios, and you looking at that. Damn, Gervonta Tan Davis knocked out Mario Barrios. Why did Keith Thurman knock him out? Damn, he struggled. Come on, man. He ain't struggling on Mario Barrios. Those guys would have, could have, whatever. You could give me all the scant rant. Those guys would have. That's the problem. That's the would have. I don't know that. I thought that Earl Spence would have smoked the shit out of Mikey Garcia. I think that Earl Spence, looking at the size, looking at the body, looking at everything, and Ryan Garcia around that time saying that he don't even run. He didn't even have abs versus that fight. I would have thought that Mikey Garcia wouldn't even pass 6 rounds. The way that people talk about it. Of Earl Spence when he hungry. Earl Spence around that time was the boogeyman. He should have smoked Mike Garcia. The Earl Spence, all right, it was almost the same shit. The Earl Spence struggled with Mike Garcia. He won basically almost every round. Crawford said he wants to fight 2-3 times this year. That's all cap. All fighters say that. Every fighter be like, I want to fight 2-3 times a year. Every fighter. And they only fight one time. Facts. Getting beat is way worse than just getting thing. James Kelly say, yo, check this out. Take the top 10 fighters and get that tournament vibe back. Facts. Give us that Muhammad Ali tournament that they had with Inoue, with Regis Prograis, when he had that tournament with Josh Taylor. What's good? The boxing signs was good, brother. The tournament with Andre Ward, the series. Give us that back. I agree with you. I became a fan of Andre Ward because I thought Kessler was going to get him. OBTW, the tournament was great. Now do that for the fans. Exactly. And I think that's the legacy of Andre Ward, the tournament. Chad Dawson, the Chad Dawson shit and all that. That's the legacy of Andre Ward. If that tournament didn't happen, then I think that we'll be still waiting for Ward to fight a Kovalev or something like that. Even Regis Prograis, that tournament helped him. Even that tournament, even the tournament even revived the career of Nonito Donaire. Gave it a second win. Resurrected the career of Nonito Donaire, the tournament. It's true. And then he got the fight Inoue. And that was the fight that we said that Inoue was humanized by Donaire. But then the monster came back. But that tournament right there was great. Yeah, so I agree with you, man. The tournament is good, man. Good looking now with a super chat. James Kelly, God bless you. Always the support. Bring back the tournament. And yo, they could do a tournament right now. Can you imagine a tournament in 154? Because I feel like the 154 division got a lot of 50-50 fights. I like the 154. I would like a tournament in the welterweight division, a tournament in the lightweight division, and a tournament in the heavyweight division. A tournament in the heavyweight division. I'm one of the few that believe that Deontay Wilder beats Alexander Usyk. I think that Deontay Wilder can knock out Alexander Usyk. I think so. Virgil versus Stadion is going to be fire. That's a good. See, for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, boxing also has the potential to make the B level fights, right? Like, it's not the fight, but they look. Virgil and Stanionis is the perfect fight. If Virgil is not getting boot, if he's not getting Bud, or if he's not getting Bud or Earl Spence, then Virgil Ortiz should only fight Boots, Thurman, or Stanionis. That's that tier. If it's not Butter versus if it's Butter versus Spence, then the fight should be it's supposed to be Boots, Thurman, Stanionis, Virgil. Boots, Virgil. Thurman, Virgil. Thurman, Stanionis. That's supposed to be the second tier. I believe this is what it is in boxing. If you're top 6, the top 6 should fight one another. Mix and match it. Top 6 and the last 4 should fight one another. Once you're a top 10 fighter, you can only fight top 10 fighters. That's what I want. That's what I want. If you're a top 10 fighters, and this is why with all these belts, the fans needs to take the responsibility to recognize who they want to recognize. See, that's why that franchise or with the Loma tier, that's not going to bullshit me. No, I know who's undisputed. Yeah, Tier was undisputed. That shit ain't going to bullshit me. But you know what? Because think about it. In one belt federation, you could have Michel Rivera #1 in the WBA. But then if you check in the IBF, I'm just giving you an example. But if you check in the IBF, he's not ranked. Rolly Romero is ranked in the WBA, but he's not ranked nowhere else. That's trash, because now we really don't know who it is. That's got to be the new rule. And if fans want to critique the fighters, that's how you could critique the fighter. If you're a top 10 fighter, you're not supposed to be fighting somebody in the outside of the top 10. But I believe the top 6, if the 1 and 2 is not fighting, then the 1 and 3 should be fighting. Then the 2 and 4 should be fighting. You understand? Shit like that. It's like in the NBA or whatever. The eight best teams go to the fucking playoffs. That's it. Everybody else, they don't play in the playoffs. They don't play. But the top 8, they play in the playoffs. So we could see upsets. We could see the #1 team play the 8th team. We've seen it happen a lot of times in the NBA. So I want to see the only way that is respectable if Bud, if he don't fight Thurman, if Bud don't fight Earl Spence, then a Thurman fight is respectable. Spence, Virgil Ortiz, respectable. Spence, Boost, respectable. Stanionis, that's it. They only can fight one another. That's it. I think if Belt Federation does that rule, then they bring the significance of the importance of being a champion and the belts. The belts won't look watered down. I don't give a damn. Have all the belts that you want. And I think the Belt Federations should come together, and their rankings should look similar. Their rankings look similar, because that confuses the sport of boxing. What's good, Frank? That confuses the sport of boxing. That's why I used to get an argument. The guy, tournaments are cool, but need the backing 100%. Facts, man. Good looking. I appreciate you, the guy. This way, look. The Belt Federation, they need to have similar rankings, and this is why I said I recognize whoever I want to recognize. That's why people was mad. People wasn't getting it when I was saying, no, he's undisputed. I got to recognize whatever I want to recognize, because the WBO may not be recognized in the WBC rankings. But then when somebody, it's undisputed. But Punch, the WBO doesn't consider Teofimo Lopez undisputed. Motherfucker, they don't even consider their #1 fighter. They don't recognize the #1 fighter. Like, let me tell you right now, look at all the Belt Federation. Who's the #1? Who's the #2? Who's the #3? #4? You see? Now, this is how we know. Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, if you look at all the Belt Federation, they're the #1s and #2s. So now you see, all right, everybody's on the same page. Boots is the real deal. Virgil Ortiz is the real deal. I'll give you an example right quick. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Hold on. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's go to the welterweight division, right? Let's go to the welterweight division. Shit. All right. In the WBO, you got Virgil Ortiz, Jerome Boots Ennis, Keith Thurman, Conor Ben, Alexis Arocha, right? In the IBF, you got Boots Ennis. The number 2 is vacant. Virgil Ortiz, Karen Chakasakalaskas. I don't know how to pronounce that name. And you got Keith Thurman, top 5. You see, you got Karen Chakasakalaskas. Look, Karen Chakasakalaskas, whatever his name is. See, but you don't see him in the WBC and you don't see him in the WBA. See, that's the problem. So now, if I say, if we have an argument or we have a debate and be like, yo, Karen Chakasakalaskas is top 5. You're going to be like, I never heard of no Chakasakalaskas. I never heard of Karen. That's a man. That's a girl name. Who the fuck is that? See, because the IBF recognizes him as a top 5 fighter. But everybody else don't recognize this dude. Not even top 10. Not even top 15. Look at this. Not even top 15 in all the belt sanctioning bodies. So this is why I say the Belt Federation has forced us to identify and recognize whatever we want to recognize. That's why I was talking. That's why I argue and debated this undisputed with the but Lomachenko, you got the franchise. No, we all knew who the fuck was the champion. All right, I don't give a fuck if the WBO don't recognize Tio. I don't give a fuck if I don't give a damn. I know what I recognize because these motherfuckers don't recognize each other anyway. These guys don't recognize their top 5, their top 10. Blair Cobbs in the WBO is ranked number 9, but in the IBF, Blair Cobb is not even ranked. In the WBC, Blair Cobbs is not even ranked. And in the WBA, Blair Cobbs is not ranked. So if Blair Cobbs tells you, hey, yo, man, I'm top 10 welterweight. You're going to go, man, you're not no top welterweight. The ring don't got you there. So how can you identify, when do you know that Blair Cobbs is a top 10 welterweight? He said, stop saying new dude's name. So true punch. Their rankings are all over exactly the boxing science. So now it takes us, the hardcore boxing fans, to actually identify and look at all these fights, look at the skill set, and see, because a lot of these sanctioning bodies are, again, remember, these managers pay, these promoters pay these sanctioning bodies, so they could put their guy in the top rankings or move them. But look, but what makes sense is, again, so Thurman is top 5 in the WBO. Thurman is top 5 in the IBF. Thurman is top 5 in the WBC. Thurman is top 5 in the WBA. So we know without a shadow of doubt that everybody in every belt sanctioning body considers him a top 5 fighter. Every sanctioning body considers Boots Ennis, who is number 2 in the WBA, number 3 in the WBC, number 1 in the IBF, and number 2 in the WBO. So everybody is in line together that these guys are the top fighters. Virgil Ortiz is number 1 in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz is number 3 in the IBF. Virgil Ortiz is number 2 in the WBC. Virgil Ortiz is number 1 in the WBA. So we know that Boots, Boots, Virgil, and Thurman is the contenders. Now, Stanionis, where's Stanionis? Well, he got a belt, so he can't even be ranked. But put Stanionis there. Now you got, look at Conor Ben. Conor Ben is number 4 in the WBA. Conor Ben, See, look, Conor Benn is not ranked in the WBC. Conor Benn is not ranked in the IBF. Conor Benn is ranked number 4. So Conor Benn is only ranked in 2 sanctioning bodies, WBO and the WBA. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the problem also. This is the problem. But if people, at least if people want to figure things out, then if you look at the top guys, then Virgil, Boots, and Thurman are the respectable challengers to the champions. And if they can't get the champions, they should fight one another. They can't fight nobody below that. If these guys are available to fight, there is no excuses why. And look, and this is what I'm saying. If Boots Ennis is petitioning the IBF to face Earl Spence, but he can't get that fight, so then Boots Ennis team needs to petition to fight Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz petitioned to fight Keith and Tom Thurman, but they didn't show up the next day for the vote. So Virgil Ortiz, if you can't get Thurman, you can't get the champions. The Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis should be looking at each other. That's it. There's no excuse. I don't need Virgil and Boots to fight for the belt. I needed them to fight each other. I don't want Boots to chase the Spence of the world. If you can't get Spence, you got to chase Virgil, because that's if you can't get Bud, I want you to chase Virgil. You can't get Thurman, you got to chase Virgil. Virgil, Boots is the fight, and these guys should be already building each other up. Like that's it. Talk about each other. Forget about the Bud and Earl Spence. Exactly. Punch, we shouldn't need belts to tell us who the best is. I've been saying that. Facts. We don't need it. That's it. The belts, even fighters already been telling y'all that it's watered down. Think about this. Look, Regis Prograis is going to be out in the cold with the WBC belt because they can't do no business with Top Rank. So Regis Prograis got to have his foot on Richard Schaefer's neck and propel him to make the fights with Top Rank. He's going to be out in the cold. Just like Demetrius Andrade was out in the cold with the WBO. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get the fight. So drop the fucking belt. The belt don't matter. Not everybody want to become a champion. Look at what Bob Arum said about Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson wanted to become undisputed. Bob Arum said, that we don't got enough money. We don't got money for the Cordina fight or the Gutierrez fight. Nobody want to pay for that. So Shakur Stevenson couldn't go for legacy because Bob Arum was not in support. ESPN Top Rank was not in support of making those type of fights. So if it's not a tournament, like my brother James Kelly said, if it's not a tournament, then these guys, these top 6, if they're available, should not fight nothing under than that. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Now, could we give? Now, I will give a pass to credible. Like I will give a pass to a fight like Amir Khan and Kell Brook, where they're not ranked, but they already made their mark, and they're 2 big names to make good money, and they're probably they're in the same stage of their career. I understand that. We can have fights like that. You still got to make money. You know what I'm saying? You still got to make money. It's still a business. So I respect fights like that. Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder. Those are the fights. If it's not a championship fights, but those are the fights that needs to be made in the heavyweight division. Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder is like the perfect shit I'm talking about. Both of these guys have no belts. There was ex-world champions. That's the B level. I'm not saying they're B level fighters. I'm saying that's a B level fight. The A level fight is only the fight. Usyk versus Fury. You know, good punch. I didn't hear. I ain't heard no other boxing guys say that about Shakur and Undisputed. Yeah, the belts is watered down. Look what Ryan Garcia said. He said the belts don't matter. So all these belts really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because we don't want to be disingenuous with the other guys that do got belts. Philip in the building. Happy New Year. Punch in the chat. Yeah, man. I think belts, I think belts only matter. Good looking at with the super chat. God bless you, Philip, as well, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I think belts only matter when the people when belts only matter when we get the fight that we want to see. See, belts matter when it's Earl Spence versus Bud. Belts matter when it's Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Belts matter when it's Bivol versus Beterbiev. But belts don't matter when it's Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina. You get it? Belts don't matter when it's Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Belts don't matter when it's Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Belts don't matter if it's Anthony Joshua versus Joe Joyce. Does belt matter? Anthony Joshua versus Joe Joyce? Woo! Does belt matter? Man, we don't give a man fight. See, now that's the other fight right there. Get it? See? Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Undisputed. The other fights in the heavyweight division should only be Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua versus Joe Joyce. That keeps boxing going. And it's the heavyweight division. It don't matter if Anthony Joshua loses to Joe Joyce and Andy Ruiz loses to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua is still a good fight. It don't need no belts. And boxing will still be lucrative. Boxing will still be good. And then the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk, then we get Alexander Usyk versus Joe Joyce, which is the rivalry in the amateur and when there was amateurs. It's still a big fight. Joe Joyce versus Alexander Usyk in the professional level is a big fight. That's a longer rivalry than any rivalry there is in the heavyweight division. Joe Joyce versus Alexander Usyk. Now, if Tyson Fury beats Usyk, then you got Tyson Fury versus Joe Joyce. And I think that Joe Joyce has the body, the weight, the skill set. This is a guy that Fury knows he cannot bully around. Fury cannot impose his weight versus Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce weighs 270 pounds. Real recognize real. And you know when Fury was looking at that Parker fight, when he was front row, he was thinking like, damn, my boy never been knocked out. And Joseph Parker, I can't push him around like I pushed Deontay Wilder. And I know I ain't going to be pushing around. I ain't going to be pushing him around like I will push Alexander Usyk, who he calls a middleweight. Joe Joyce was a whole different type of animal for Tyson Fury. I'm not going to say that Tyson Fury loses to Joe Joyce, but I'm going to tell you like this. In my opinion, Joe Joyce gives him the better competition, even comparing him with Alexander Usyk. Joe Joyce gives Tyson Fury the best competition in heavyweight right now, in my opinion. He got the frame, he got the jab, he got the skill set, he got the coach. He got the tools, he got the intellect. He's smart. He's the big fundamentals. He's the Tim Duncan in the heavyweight division, Joe Joyce. So there's a lot of fights to be made. And money. See, because even when your fighter loses to the best, they don't lose ground too much. They don't lose ground. Pitbull Cruz lost to Gervonta Tank Davis. It only helped his career. Just put up a good fight. In the end of the day, fans, as much as fans go after the fighter, disrespect the fighter, devalue the fighter, and all of that, you don't win the heart of the boxing fan if you win or you become a champion. You win the heart of the boxing fans when you put up a great fight. Win, lose, or draw. When you put up a great fight, Manny Pacquiao got loved by putting up a great fight. It don't matter if Manny Pacquiao won the championship before he fought the guys like Morales and Berea. Putting up a great fight is what gives you the fans. Pitbull Cruz, people became a fan of Pitbull Cruz, not because he lost to Gervonta Tank Davis or if he would have won, it's because how he performed. People respect Sean Porter because you know that Sean Porter never cheated with his approach, with his efforts. Same way with Keith and Tom Thurman. You know what I'm saying? There's fighters that's respected because they know how to put up a fight. Why you think the UK loves Derek Chisora? Why you think the UK, the English people never abandoned Derek Chisora? Because win, lose, or draw, you know that Derek Chisora will not cheat you out your money. He will put up a fight. He will put up a fight. And the fans identify that. The fans identify the warrior spirit. Dímelo, Christian. You know what I'm saying? Cambosos versus Pitbull Cruz. I think it's going to be Pitbull versus De Los Santos. That's what I believe, to be honest. If I'm looking at the business of boxing, I think it's going to be De Los Santos versus Pitbull Cruz next. UK fans don't condemn their fighters for losing like the US does. But I even think the US fans hate other US fans that support fighters. It's like me. I get hated for supporting Demetrius Andrade. Why you hating? Why y'all hating me? Why y'all don't like when I support Demetrius Andrade? Because y'all don't want to support it? Because y'all want to say that he don't deserve fights? I say he deserved the fight. I support Jermall Charlo. I support Canelo Alvarez. Now, if I compare their careers, of course, Canelo Alvarez is the man. Career-wise, that's it. I mean, they know that. Andrade and Charlo and everybody else know that he's already a walking Hall of Famer. He got the resume. But are we here to talk boxing, praise fighters? Yeah, hold boxers accountable when they don't fight the way that we feel like they got the potential to fight. But are we here to further destroy the sport? And that's the reason why when these guys do have a good win, we don't respect it, because we just spend so much time in disrespecting them. When they do something good, you're still not satisfied. Rap star Boxing Knowledge said, let's go. Happy New Year, motherfuckers. It's 2023. Wake up, getting smashed up. Hey, I'm going to wake you up with this. 2023 is going to be a whole different year in the sport of boxing, because now in 2023, we're going to have this. 2023 is going to take a turn for the worse, probably. 2023 might take a turn for the worse. Tranny boxing is coming to you. It's coming to your YouTube near you. It's coming to your televised near you. Tranny boxing, all supported by the man himself, Mauricio Sulaiman. Mauricio Sulaiman, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for respecting us and giving us the platform.
$40, $40, $40. Look, man.
If it would just be $40, we would just charge $40, okay? And I want this man to walk me out the ring. Oh my God, that's the way this shit is gonna look like, bro. Hey, yo, 2023 is gonna look crazy. 2023. 2023 is gonna look crazy, man. You're going, oh man, shit. And you know when they're gonna do it? These fights are gonna happen in June. On Juneteenth too, because it's gonna be Pride Month too. They're going, even the African American, yo, they're already gonna take it on. Yo, Mauricio Sulaiman, yo, we work hard to get this Juneteenth date, man. Why you gonna be having each of these lady boys out here, man? These mujeres pingas. These mujeres were pingas. Why you gotta have that right now when we was trying to develop this Juneteenth? Now you're gonna fog it up with these rainbow Skittles Starburst motherfuckers. Ay. Man. What's that? I'm on YouTube. My boxing brother for life. Fuck the haters. Let's go, Rap. Rap is my boxing brother, man. Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. Subscribe to my brother, Rapstar. One of the realest, or the realest motherfucker I met out here, man. Rapstar, man. Hey, Rapstar, his boy is Mauricio Sulaiman, man. We wanna know when you're gonna bring Mauricio Sulaiman to when you're gonna have the interview with Mauricio Sulaiman. You know what I'm saying? So we want to ask him these type of questions. You know what I'm saying? I heard that he's on vacation. I'm not sure if he's in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if he's in Thailand. I'm not sure, maybe he got, I don't know. Maybe he's in Thailand. I don't know. What you know where he at? Oh shit. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a whole different year. It's gonna be a whole, like I said yesterday, man. Boxing went from this. Look. Boxing went from this. Omar Figueroa, now boxing is turning into this right here, man. We went from Amanda Serrano, Alicia Baumgartner, even the Estrada. The ladies are looking better. The boxing fight, the women fighters are looking better than ever. They looking like the UFC girls. Some of the UFC girls look good. But the boxing girls, I think that's why women boxing is also elevating, because the fighters, the champions is looking Sky Nicholson. Now we're going to this. Now the boxing world's going to this. Damn, we couldn't even let the ladies live. We couldn't let the ladies live, man. We're going from this now. We're going from this to this. We went from this to this. Damn, man. One by one, Mauricio Sulaiman trying to bring that shit to the table, man. Ain't nobody was praying. Nobody was asking Mauricio Sulaiman to bring the Mujer Wapingas to the table. Nobody was asking for this, Mauricio Sulaiman. What the hell is wrong with you? Nobody was asking for that. Fuck is wrong with Mauricio, man? Come on, man. Nobody was asking for this. Nobody was asking for Mauricio. What's your problem, man? I'm telling you, I think Mauricio took a trip to Thailand. had too much fun. And then this is what I think happened. Now, y'all can tell me I'm wrong. This is what I think happened. The WBC president, Mauricio Sulaiman, went to Thailand for vacation. I don't know if he's still there. When you out there, it's like Vegas. Whatever goes in Thailand stays in Thailand. I don't know. Maybe it is. He got himself, couple of chicks, maybe mujer con pinga. He found out. And after maybe after he piped it down, or they piped him, whatever it goes. He was holding, after the action, he was holding the mujer con pinga. He was holding the tranny boy. And they was asking, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do in America? You big boy, but you have energy. You are a big boy, but you have energy. You old, but you have energy. And you are rich. You have a ton of money. I just want to ask you a question. What do you do? Oh, well, I am a president of WBC, one of the most prestige belt federation of all the boxing in the world. Oh, that sounds good. I know we did yes. A lot of people like to talk about now we're around here. And tell us more about it. Well, yeah, we have great champions. We have great champions like Canelo Alvarez. We have great champion like and women champion, good women champion. We have great champion Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. For all over the world, we have great champion. Oh, what about? Do you have any tranny champions? Because we have a community that needs support. We need a community. We don't see a lot of us in TV. We don't see a lot. Mauricio Sulaiman, do you have guys or girls like me in boxing so I could support you? Because if there is no tranny, I don't want to fuck with you no more, Mauricio. Mauricio Sulaiman felt so good and he felt bad. Mauricio, if you don't have one of us, why do you don't have one of us? Are you discriminating us? No, I don't discriminate. But what you don't have? You talk about men, you talk about women, you talk about champion. I suck at the dicky. Why not us? I want you to implement tranny boys. What happened? part. What? I don't suck your dick no more. I don't suck your dick. Or he's hustling about like, wait. I think I have. Okay, look, listen up, okay? You're going to suck my dick for this. I have a 60th annual WBC convention. It's going to be big. I will bring it to the table. You know, like the motorcycle clubs, the 1%er, they bring it to the table. I take the, okay, everybody judge. I will take it to the table. Well, could I be in the table? This is a little secret. I will bring it to the table and I will implement something that you're going to be satisfied. Like I am satisfied right now while having you. And I'm going to do something special for you. Because the way that you suck at the dicky, I love it. And I haven't met a woman to suck at the dicky the way that you suck at the dicky. Okay. And I think that's where Mauricio Solomon gathered his I think that was the motive. Because I never seen any lady boys trying to be into the sport of boxing, protest the sport of boxing. We never heard this. We know where is this idea coming from? So I think that Mauricio Solomon had a good time out there in the vacation. Got persuaded by the partners. I that's the only thing I can think of. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to think like this? Huh? Am I wrong to think like this? At least Mauricio Solomon is not letting the women get disrespected or the men get disrespected. So he's creating this new lane and this division for the mujeres con pingas. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's being smart about it. He's giving it's what they want. He's giving it's what they want. He's going to capitalize on making money because I don't know. I haven't even met a tranny boxer, so I don't even know where he's going to get. Why he's making the division? Where all these fighters going to come from? You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, this comping I need love too, bro. Craig. But anyway, man. It's 10:30. I want you to get back with your family, pay attention to them, and give the undivided attention. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know, man, we're going to be rocking it out. We probably go back and we'll probably come back tomorrow, chop it up, see the 2023 and see how everything's going to be playing now. I want everybody to have a good time. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Boxing is good. Life is good. Again, if you got New Year's resolution and stuff like that, have a better lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle, love your children more. Fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. Treat your significant other better. Love her unconditionally. Love, and the best thing, have God in your heart. The best investment you can make is have God in your heart. God first, everything second. 5 + 5 = 2 champions. We're one human race. We're one human race. And we're just we just, the beauty of us is that we have different cultures. We are the buffet in heaven, but we're one human race. And love each other more. Less hate, more love, and stay motivated and inspire and inspire your neighbor. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.